Hello guys, Trouble8385 back again to make another video. And this time I want to talk about something I saw that was kind of cool. It's from Rose Color Gaming. To go back in the history when you talk about Sega handhelds, of course everybody remembers who was around the Sega Game Gear, which is probably the most predominant handheld Sega ever made. Basically at the time competing with the Nintendo Game Boy. Obviously Nintendo was black and white then, they were color. Looked really cool. The games obviously were color and obviously better graphic detail, but unfortunately the Game Gear was big, kind of clunky, and had a short battery life unless you had the AC adapter. Later on, Sega went on to make the Sega Nomad, which is basically a handheld that allows you to play your Genesis games on the go. Again, not as clunky, but again, battery life was an issue. Obviously screens were kind of finicky back then, unlike today. A lot of them weren't backlit, so you had to get the right angle to see the screens. Had it be in daylight kind of thing, so forth, so on. Anyway, Rose Color Gaming has decided to go and make a Sega Nomad X. Basically, Sega Nomad X is basically a modified Nomad. It basically upgrades the Nomad to modern stuff. For example, better battery life, better audio, and replaces the screen for the Nomad with a 3.5-inch LCD screen. In other words, giving you much better quality screen playing the game. They replace plastic lenses and stuff. So basically updating the Nomad to current technology to make a better gaming experience for people who want to play their Genesis games on the go. Now, there are currently on their site, there are two versions of the Nomad X. One called the Wanderer, which is the white version, and the other one called the Venus, which is the red version. Now, currently they're both sold out, but they are $299 a piece. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, $299 is kind of expensive. Well, with all the modding they're doing and stuff, unlike, let's per se, the Neo Geo X, when the Neo Geo X came out and the price it had, a lot of people were kind of blindsided because there wasn't the quality they expected for it. In this case, they're just upgrading stuff, and the quality looks awesome. Again, they're modding in a sense, a current system, so it's not like you don't know the quality of what a Nomad was. And of course, for fans who are Sega fans who have to have every Sega system, this is now another one you'll have to get. So you put next to the Game Gear and the Nomad, and now you need a Nomad X to go right next to the other handheld. Again, it's cool that they're doing this. I think this day and age, as you talk about retro stuff, and so much retro stuff going on, that truly, as a collector of any system, retro, you almost have to keep up with the news because there's always new things coming out that, as a fan of whatever system or company that is, to collect, if you are a collector of Sega, for example, in this case. I love my Genesis, and honestly, would I get a Sega Nomad right now? Absolutely not. And the reason is nothing to do with the Sega Nomad itself. Actually, it's because there are a lot of Genesis games I still need to collect for my Genesis, to honestly. I have actually a very small library, and if I wasn't probably focused on the NES, I'd probably focus on this, even though, because the Sega Genesis games aren't very expensive, I just haven't. And honestly, my game store hasn't got a lot of new ones in, especially, I'd love to get them all, of course, in a case, but I could get the games and buy the cases later. Secondly, I've never had a Sega Nomad, so I have no affinity for it, and there's no reason for me to get this yet because of that, but it looks really cool. And if I was somebody who already had a Nomad and had the games I wanted in my collection, it was like, man, this would definitely be an option, especially if you want a better quality experience. If you don't like certain things about the system and wanted current tech, this is definitely an option for you. But anyway, what do you think about the Sega Nomad X? There's a link below if you want to check it out to their website. Would you be interested in getting it? Do you think it's cool that people are putting new tech in old systems and devices to give a better gaming experience today? Because by no stretch of imagination do I think the Nomad's bad, but I think if you were to give someone, I'll be honest here, when I gave my son for example, the Game Gear, and the Tom and Jerry game he wanted to play, he didn't find that a great experience. Granted, at the time to us it seemed like a great experience when it came out, but anyway, what do you think about it, guys? I'd love to hear your guys' opinions, and I will talk to you guys later. But one last thing. I forgot about one last thing. In my first take of doing this video, we actually had a thunderstorm of lightning happen and the power went out. So I'm going to add at the very end of this video, the very end, the power actually going out so you can see what happened. Anyway, guys, talk to you guys later. If you're looking for, again, another handheld for your Sega collection. If you're a Sega collector,